Alright boys, it is now that time of the month where I have to inform you of what is going to be coming up on the NA version of the game for the month of July, and this one's going to be a little bit wonky. We obviously know that the anniversary is going to be hitting very early in July, but the end of July might be a bit interesting. I'm going to be very interested to see how they actually plan on releasing some of these events, because as some of you guys may know, they actually didn't drop NeroFest over here. I still believe we're going to get this NeroFest rerun, but they kind of seem to be shifting some stuff around, and so we're going to talk about all of that stuff that may be coming in the month of July in this video so that you are prepared to know what is going to be coming. But if you want to always be up to date on what is going on both versions of the game, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that sweet daily FGO content. Also, if you have any questions for me or you just want to see me play FGO live, I do that every single weekday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is linked in the description down below. However, this video is once again sponsored by Bai, and if you do not know what that is, it is basically like Japanese eBay for people like me that live over in the West that don't have access to some products that release over in Japan and never find their way over here to the States. Things like the FGO arcade cards that you could only really get by playing FGO arcade, but we obviously never got that over here in the States, so we don't have access to this. This can allow you to buy stuff like that, but also gain figures that they never really release over here in the West, or that might be rather rare. It's a very nice way to gain access to buy all that stuff, and if you use my link down in the description down below, you will get 10% off of your purchase up to a maximum of 5,000 yen, and so it's a nice way to also kind of cut down on that price and get yourself a nice little figure. Also, if you're a fan of, say, stuff like Kamen Rider like I am, a lot of that stuff also does not release over here in the West either, so it's a nice way to not only gain access to some stuff like FGO products related, but also just anything that you're like, hey man, I like me some Ultraman, let me go ahead and get one of those, because we don't get a whole lot of that stuff over here in the West. But thank you once again, Bai, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Alright, so enough minutia. Let's talk about the stuff that we actually know is going to be coming in July. First and foremost, there's the anniversary. We basically have a hard confirmed date for like the 2nd/the 3rd, because we have the live stream, and then even if they don't drop all the anniversary stuff immediately after the live stream, it'll probably drop at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for most of us that following day. So like basically 2nd/3rd, anniversary's dropping. It's all the good stuff that we've been talking about for like the last couple of weeks, right? Like all the hype stuff. The GSSR is coming, the free 5-star is coming, Koya and Sky is coming, there's the like all the Da Vinci shop stuff. There's just so much stuff that's going to be coming. Potentially even maybe some early quality of life updates. We'll have to see on the live stream if they're going to bring anything early. I'm personally hoping that, man, if you'll just give us Mighty Chains in the quick update a little bit early, that would be super nice. It's not the craziest update ever, but it does save you a lot of time in some of these fights, and it makes things just a tad bit easier. So I would really like to see that come early, but realistically, I don't think I need to spend that much time talking about the anniversary, because I've already done like 85 videos talking about all the anniversary stuff that's coming. So let's talk about what's coming after that. So following the anniversary, we should have the final part for Lost Belt 6, that being the Oberon banner, and the part 3 for all of that, right? It'll be the conclusion for the story chapter, and it will not only bring Oberon, who is kind of the final piece for Buster farming, because Koyenskaya allows you to do it, but Oberon takes it to the next level. I think Koyenskaya just by herself and her Buster looping system is just kind of on par with the Castoria system. I think they're about even with what you could do with both of them, but then Oberon is what kind of takes the Buster farming system and just elevates it to the next level. He just makes it absolutely ridiculous. He also does help out arts farming teams as well, because they predominantly do use stuff like Black Grail, and Oberon absolutely loves Black Grail. You could maybe have an argument about like, well, does Oberon make that better, or does he make the arts one better? Regardless, he's a uber good unit, right? Like that 3rd skill is one of the most game-changing things we've ever seen in FGO. It's absolutely ludicrous. It also gives you another chance at getting Sith and Bargus. If you missed out on them during the first banner, you have another shot at getting them. And if you missed out on Morgan, she also comes back with Sith and Bargus. So if you know you want to go for Oberon, you get him early, and you're like, oh, I didn't have a chance to snag Morgan, you could go over here and grab her. The only problem is that they didn't bring Kucaster back on this banner for some reason. I guess they were like, oh man, we can't make this banner too good by putting Kucaster on there. Oh no, that would be the end of the world, which I don't know why they didn't just rerun the banner. Maybe to make it a little bit different. They're like, oh, you should have got him when he came out. But yeah, it'll be a pretty fun time, all things considered, because Oberon just makes things very, very fun. And I will tell you guys right now, as someone who is on JP and does not have Oberon, I have missed him every single time he has come out. This guy's an absolute game changer. I imagine my life on JP would have been so much easier if I got this guy. Realistically, if you have to choose between going for, say, Koyenskaya, but you have Castoria already, or Oberon, you might just go for Oberon, because he's just going to make your life so much easier. Once you could secure either one of those broken supports, Koyenskaya or Castoria, and then add Oberon into the mix, your life just becomes so much easier. You just kind of crush everything that comes in, like, anywhere near your path. He is so stupid dummy good. But then moving past that, this is where things get a little up in the air, because we have Summer 6, we have this Nerofest over here that we never got that is kind of in limbo, and then we have this small, like, Prisma Ilia campaign. Now, this one's not too big of a deal. Basically, all the main thing that it does is it gives Ilia a 50% battery, so she becomes a lot better. Kind of rivaling Sanzo a little bit because she does more damage, but Sanzo does have that 80% battery as opposed to the 50% battery. Generally, the 50% that Ilia has is going to be fine, but in some niche corner cases, that 80% is a little bit better, right? Because obviously bigger number, but it does make Ilia quite good. It makes her very, very relevant moving forward. So if you do have Ilia, that's something to kind of look forward to. She'll become way better. Still have no idea what they were smoking when they gave her that 50% battery. She already did way too much damage anyway. It's like if they gave Iskandar a 50% battery, right? It's like, well, the dynamic between him and Drake was always like Drake did less damage, but had the battery. Iskandar did more damage, had no battery. But then if you give the guy that's already doing more damage the battery, then it's like, why do I use the other person? You know, I don't know, it's a little wonky, but it's like, all right, well, Ilia becomes dummy nutty good. But let's talk about these other two events. We have Nerofest and we have Summer 6. Realistically, I think most people are going to be hoping for Nerofest to drop after, say, the part 3. And I am personally hoping that that is true, because we have gotten so many really good servants that have just released back to back to back. I mean, we're talking Morgan, Melusine, Koyenskaya, potentially a good servant you'll get off the GSSR, then Oberon, and then even if you want to max up people like Bargus and Sith, even if you haven't maxed out your Coup Caster even, right? You're going to need a lot of materials to do that. And the Nerofest Lotto Poll is really good this year. Like, it brings a lot of very, very good things that everybody's needing, like proofs, chains, dust, all that is very strong. But then also the QP you're going to need for your skills, and also giving you stuff for all of your class skills is just going to be very, very nice, right? It's a very strong lotto, and it's no wonder that a lot of people, including myself, are looking forward to getting this. And I think it would make more sense to drop this at the end of July to kind of help a lot of people that have really struggled with maxing out all of these servants. I quite literally only have like 20 million QP on my NA account right now. Like, I have been completely sucked dry of all my QP. So I have no idea how I'm going to max out Koyenskaya and Oberon. Like, I am running extremely low on materials. I think this would be a great thing to just give all the players right after the anniversary. Let everybody farm like crazy. Because let's be honest, like, when the anniversary drops, it's kind of just like, oh, here's the banner. And there's no real content, right? It's really just the banners that drop, and then it's going to be the ending of Lost Belt 6, which once you finish that, there's nothing really to do. So this will give everybody like a real big chunky event to farm. You know, go farm yourself 200 boxes, get all your guys maxed out. I think it just makes a lot of sense, because if you drop Summer 6 right after that, I feel like everyone's just going to be completely exhausted of materials, because these, again, are two really gas banners. I mean, Okita Alter over here is insanely good as a quick looper, and Kama is basically Space Ishtar 2.0. She can't swap her card types and everything, but she can do a ludicrous amount of damage, right? Like, she is really good at putting up good numbers as far as being a farming servant goes. And let's also be honest, Kama is insanely popular. Okita Alter is really popular as well. I don't think she's as popular as Kama, but she is still rather popular. And so you're going to have a lot of guys summoning on these banners, especially even because of the 4 stars this year. I think the lineup is really strong. Like, I'm personally really going to be going for Corday and Anastasia, and I also really would like to get Sei. Like, the lineup is ridiculous for this year. And so if you're gonna like slam dunk everybody with, say, anniversary beginning of the month, then part 3, and then the Ilia stuff that nobody really cares about, you could run that alongside either one of these events, frankly, or you could even slot it into the anniversary for all week here. But then you're gonna hit them with Summer 6 and then Nerofest after that. I feel like everybody's gonna be stupid dummy low on resources, right? So I feel like it makes more sense to drop Nerofest first, just to kind of allow everybody to rebuild their resources. But it's kind of a coin toss. Maybe they'll announce it on the live stream. Maybe they'll say, hey, we're going to be dropping Grand Nero Fest later on this month. You know, you guys are really exhausted on materials. Bada boom, bada bing, we're dropping a lotto, so you guys will be able to kind of max that stuff out. Because we should have gotten this before the anniversary, but I guess they could not have, like, crunched it in here, even though we have all those dead weeks. You know, if we would have consolidated that a little bit, this wouldn't be a problem. But again, that just seems to be how they actually run FGO. They like to build in those dead weeks to, I don't know, maybe allow them time to kind of fix up the game and whatnot. But yeah, it's going to be one of the two. I think it makes a little bit more sense to slot in the Nero Fest for the month of July, just because they gotta know that a lot of us are extremely hurting for materials. But if they don't, if they want to do summer following up the Lost Belt 6 and everything, right, if they want to kind of do the normal thing, then I guess you would expect the Nero Fest to drop more in like August instead of the end of July, so it'd be pushed back a little bit, which would be a little bit annoying. But I don't think they'll do that, but we'll have to wait and see, because unfortunately we don't have anything concrete as of me recording this video as to whether or not Nero Fest or the Summer 6 is going to be dropping first. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, personally hoping that we get the Nero Fest, because I need me a lotto bad. I just farmed really heavily on JP, got over to like 1 billion QP, and it is super nice. I'm loving all the resources I got, loving all the QP, and then I look at NA and I'm like, I have quite literally nothing. I have no QP at all. Plus, the Grand Nero Fest will also give everybody's wallet some time to recover, because while this is like a nice banner, like, oh yeah, Brynhilder, Summer Nero, that's really cool. Realistically, these are not like must-have, must-summon servants. You gotta get them, right? It's not like that. It's not even remotely close to the just murderer's row of amazing servants we just had for Lost Belt 6 and Anniversary. So I think it'll also give some people time to recover Saint Courts going into Summer 6. It seems like it'd be a very popular thing for them to do, because recover resources, allow people to recover their Saint Court funds, and then move into Summer. But I don't know, then they might also just be like, no, throw Summer back in there back to back to back, because they just, you know, want to dry us out of all of our Saint Courts. So we'll see what they decide to do. Let me know your thoughts again in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your guys' theories on which one you think is going to be coming first for the end of July. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.